Hi, I'm Ryan Williams, and I play for the North Carolina Courage from Centennial, Colorado.
All right, and so Ryan, thank you so much for taking the time. Now, what Rush club did you play for?
Rush.
Who was your coach?
Michael, Gab, and Boomer.
Okay, and how's your experience with Rush?
It was really good. I had a great time at Rush. I actually switched over to Rush because I decided I wanted to play college soccer, so I felt like I had kind of a better chance of getting recruited from there, and the Rush team was a little bit better. So, I ended up getting recruited, committed to TCU after just a year of being with Rush, and yeah.
Wow, I got an interesting TCU story that. So I'm a little bit older, but I wanted to play and go to TCU. So I grew up at Disciples of Christ College. I went to Disciples of Christ Church, and so I just assumed I was from a small town. I just assumed since I'm Disciples of Christ, I'll just play at TCU. And my high school coach said, "Josh, listen, you're not good enough for TCU." But in my mind, for about 6 months, I'm like, I'm going to be a Horned Frog because they're Disciples of Christ. I'm Disciples of Christ, and this is how the world works. What made you decide TCU?
So I was actually born in Texas, and I still have family in Texas. So I have family in Houston and Austin. And then one of my older sisters actually went to TCU, so that's kind of why I looked at it. And then I ended up going to an ID camp there, kind of became in contact with the coaches, and then from there they came and watched me at an ECNL event that I played with for Rush, and it just seemed like the best fit. I was really excited about it, and so I committed.
It seemed to work out well for you there.
Yeah, it did. I absolutely loved it. I had a really good experience. Loved the girls on my team. Loved the coaches. And that ultimately set me up to be where I am now.
Nice. So, I mean, all credit starts with Rush, obviously, is what we're saying.
Yes, of course.
How many championships have you won through your career?
So this is my third year with the Courage, and we won my first year and my second year. So that's 2, hoping to win this Challenge Cup that we're currently competing in. And then we'll see what happens with the rest of the season. So.
But now you've won a Women's International Cup. You won an ECNL. You won an ECNL championship. You won a state championship, right? I mean.
Yeah. Yeah, that's true. I wasn't counting all those, but yes.
That's impressive.
Yeah, I think I've been really blessed by good teams and getting to compete on really good teams, and it's made me better competing with these people and playing in things like the ICC, which was so cool to be in. I think I've just had really good opportunities and been really grateful to play on such good teams.
What championship stands out the most for you?
I think the first year we did the ICC, I actually was able to play. I played in the final game against Leon, and they were pushing for a goal basically the whole time. But it was my first year with the Courage, so it was pretty nerve-wracking. But and we had a lot of national team players missing, so a lot of us got to step in and kind of fill the roles that normally national team players were filling. But a lot of our reserves were able to come in and play and do really well, and we ended up winning it, and it was just a really fun, cool experience.
That's neat. Yeah. I mean, to win that many championships, and it's not like I'm not knocking local. It's not like we won our local little league championship. You're winning big time championships, you know.
Yeah.
A cool stat that really stuck out for me is because I hound possession, but I got to read it to make sure I get it right. But in 2019, in 232 minutes, you completed 74% of your passes.
Wow.
I don't know if you actually knew that stat.
No, I didn't know that.
Yeah, 74% of your passes. That's incredible. I mean, that's a really cool stat, I think.
Yeah, thank you. I didn't know that. So you're telling me new things too.
See, this is great. It's all because of Rush. Rush made you complete it.
Yeah. Goes back to Rush.
So let's talk about, how's the bubble? So I want to kind of hear about the bubble you guys are in Utah.
Yeah, it's been really good. I think the NWSL has actually done a really good job kind of keeping us safe and keeping everyone really healthy here. It's pretty strict, so obviously we're wearing masks everywhere we go. We basically are kind of in this hotel, and we go to training, and we come back. We're allowed to go on little walks outside with our masks on, but it's pretty restricted, which is fine. Like it's been really good, and I feel really safe here, and the protocols are really good. It's been a lot of team bonding, which has been fun. Yeah, honestly, it's been a really good experience so far.
It's absolutely beautiful. I mean, I've watched some of the games, and the backdrop you guys are playing against is it's beautiful. Utah's beautiful anyways, but yeah, where the stadium is, it's incredible. What a view.
Yeah, the facility is so nice where we practice. The practice fields are great. The stadium's great. Mountains are all around, which makes me feel like I'm back in Denver, which I love.
Compare the two mountains. So you got Denver and you got the Utah. I mean, what mountains do you like better?
I have to stay loyal to Denver,
yeah,
for sure. But it is really pretty here, and it's definitely a little closer to the mountains. So, like, outside my window, I feel a lot closer to the mountains, and there's mountains on all sides. So it's definitely pretty here, and it gives Denver a run for its money, but I have to stay loyal.
Yeah, that's a good. I think Colorado Rush would come up in arms for you.
Yeah.
So have you walked? So how surreal is it without fans?
It's pretty different. The stadium's pretty quiet, so you can hear everything on the field, which is kind of funny. But I mean, it's been good. After just a couple games, I think at least I'm kind of now used to this like empty stadium. But it's been good. I think that, like, obviously fans here would be ideal, and it brings kind of a different energy to the games. But I think we're all just grateful to be able to play this year, and if it has to be without fans for this year, then I think it's something we're all willing to do.
Yeah. Can you? That's good. I mean, everyone's keeping safe. I have in my mind, like when people go for a walk, like do you have to like check in and check out? Like everyone's like, okay, Ryan's going for a walk, and she has her mask on, and I got eyes on Ryan, and she's gone too far. Bring her back.
I mean, not exactly. Like the doors of the hotel are like locked, so they have to kind of like let you in and out, so they know when you're leaving and when you're coming back in. But like, I mean, there's coaches all around and staff all around, so everybody's just been really like strict about wearing the masks, and there's not really like, you can't go that far. Like I walk around the parking lot a little bit to get some fresh air, which is nice. But honestly, there's not very many places to go from where we are.
You get a nice power walk, like a retirement home. You're just out there power walking.
Yeah. Yep, exactly. I'm like, gotta go on my walk for the day.
Hey, so let's talk. I kind of want to talk about a moment in your career that made you pause, that you still remember, like a moment that was so surreal to you and just kind of hit. Do you have one of those moments?
I think maybe so I kind of have two. One moment was when like I first played my first minutes on the Courage, and we were on a trip. This was my first year, and I was actually a national team replacement player, so I wasn't fully signed on contract the whole year. And so a bunch of our national team players were out, so I went on the trip to Houston, and I have family in Houston, and so all my family was at the game, and I got like my first minutes. I didn't start, but I was able to sub in the second half, and I was like, this is just really cool that I'm getting my first minutes as a professional soccer player in this stadium in Houston, and like all my family is here. So I think that's kind of a moment that sticks out to me.
Yeah, where were you when you got drafted, and kind of what was that process like?
It's actually funny. So I had no idea I was going to get drafted. I didn't really know that I wanted to continue playing soccer after TCU until my last college soccer game. I was just like, we got knocked out in the NCAA tournament by Arizona, and I was just like so upset, and it just like didn't feel right to me that I was not going to play soccer anymore. So then I kind of talked to my coaches after, and they're like, well, you can enter the draft, you can go abroad, there's these kind of different options for you. So I decided to enter the draft. I was like, I have nothing to lose. I'll put my name in. Wasn't expecting to get drafted at all, honestly. And the day of the draft came and I watched a little bit and then I had classes. So I wasn't like tuning into the whole time. And I knew the draft was almost over and I was actually in the grocery store and my TCU coach texted me and he was like, hey, like, are you watching the draft? I think you're going to go. And I was like, I like panicked. I like sprinted out of the grocery store, my service, trying to get YouTube up on my phone. And so I like drove home to my college house and I like walked in the door, sat in the living room on the chair, and like they called my name like right when YouTube pulled up. And one of my roommates was sitting on the couch and I was like, dude, I just got drafted.
That's cool.
I was the last pick, so I was the 40th pick in the 4th round. So, and then like they talked about me for a little bit, and then the draft ended, and like my phone was just like blowing up, and it was so fun.
That's neat. Did you get video? Did your roommate get any video of this?
I like of me finding out I was drafted.
Yeah.
No. There wasn't a video of me because my roommate was there, but she had no idea what was going on. Like she was just on her phone on the couch, and I like had to tell her. I was like, I just got drafted, and she was like, "What?
Go away! I'm watching TV. Like leave me alone."
No, I'm just kidding. She was freaking out.
Advice-wise, if you can give advice to the future generations and future Rush players, I mean, what kind of advice could you give?
Oh gosh, I think for me, like, the times that I play the best and that I have the like most fun is kind of when I go back and like kind of almost like trace my journey and remember like why I started playing soccer and like what I like about soccer and like why I'm still playing. So going back and kind of just being like, I love this sport and it fulfills me in this way and I love getting better every day and I love growing is like honestly when I play the best soccer. So I think just like not putting too much pressure on yourself to always do this and this and this. I think it's really good and important to set goals, but I think just kind of like remembering why you started and can like bring back kind of the joys that you had when you first started playing.
So I want to kind of chat about the different levels that you've played. You played at the ECNL level, which is the highest level for the youth club, and then you played at an incredibly high level at TCU, and now you're playing for in NWSL. So kind of talk about the differences of each level that you played at.
Yeah, I think one of the main things that kind of stands out to me is like at each level, the knowledge of the game just gets higher and higher. So it's not like you can rely on this athletic ability. Like you have to know where you're going to get the ball before you get it. And you have to know where you want to play the ball before you get it. So I think like just knowledge of the game is a huge thing. And then also speed of play, like from college to pro and with the NC Courage, like I was like, oh my gosh, this is so fast. And it's like the game itself is so fast and the players are so fast, so fit, so strong. Like just everything is more and bigger and better. And that was like from college to pro was like a huge gap.
Yeah, because I mean, you got to think if you look at a stat, and maybe I'm making the stat up as well, but 2% of high school female athletes will play Division I soccer, and then it's less than 1%. Obviously, they go on to play pro. So I mean, you really are playing. I mean, with the best of the best.
Yeah.
And the speed of play, and what about the strength? I mean, you get hit harder and faster, probably, right?
Yeah, I mean, for myself, I'm a little bit smaller, but I had to like get in the gym a little bit more just to make sure that I was able to hold my ground and keep my strength and not get bodied off the ball and just like be able to keep up with these women who are all so strong and so fast but are also really technically good and smart.
Yeah. Who's the hardest player you've had to defend?
Jay Hinkle for sure is one of them because she plays left back and I play right back, so we go at each other a lot. She is super, super hard to defend, and she's also really hard to get by. So it's a lot of work both ways, but she's made me a lot better. our forwards are all super fast and smart with their runs. And honestly, I could go down my roster and be like, these are defense, these are defense, these are defense. Deb, Crystal, Lynn, Hammy, Jess McDonald.
Yeah.
They're all people that I've been like really grateful to be surrounded by, because they really have made me so much better. I'm like, okay, if I can defend this person, then like I'll be good for this game. Or yeah, they've helped me improve a ton. Yeah.
So we talk about someone incredibly fast. As a defender, what's your mindset? How do you stop that?
I think for me, I always am kind of thinking like I'm going to keep them on this side, and even if they are faster than me, something I think about is like, even if they take a touch by me, it's not about who's faster in the space. It's about like, if I can kind of put my body in front of them to cut them off from like taking their touch and getting the ball. So it's almost like a body position thing that you can do, and it's really hard, and sometimes it doesn't work. But I think doing something like that, or I think also just like knowing who you're playing against, like if they're right-footed or left-footed, or if they have tendencies to cut, or yeah, I think something like that would always help too.
Yeah, very good. Okay. Yeah, I can't imagine I was to defend people like that. I just,
Yeah.
I was a goalkeeper. I just had to stop the shots. I didn't have to defend them.
Yeah.
So, well, very good. So I kind of want to end it, on something kind of fun. We just do some rapid fire questions, and so kind of end on some fun. I know you guys have things to do in your bubble, and you have walks to take, and
Yes, exactly.
yeah. So a couple questions here. So favorite cereal?
Cinnamon Toast Crunch.
Oh, that's a good one. Yeah, do you always drink the milk afterwards?
Yes.
Yeah, I mean that's the best part of it.
Yeah, you have to.
All right, so here follow up with is cereal a soup? Why or why not?
No, it's not a soup because it's crunchy.
I don't know either. Okay, something everyone looks stupid doing.
Oh my gosh, you stumped me. Something everyone looks stupid doing?
I was gonna say TikTok videos.
Oh my gosh, TikTok videos is a good one.
I had to stop.
TikTok dance.
I was leaving the field last night, and there's 3 kids doing it, and I had to stop and wait for them to do their like TikTok videos, and I was like, I'll let you guys go ahead and finish. They had their camera propped up, and they look stupid. They really did.
Oh
so.
my gosh, that's so funny. That's a good one. Learning TikTok dance is really good.
All right, toilet paper, over or under?
Over, and if it's under, I fix it.
Yes, it freaks me out. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Okay. Favorite soccer team, non-NC Courage?
I guess the U.S. women's national team. I have to.
There you go. Okay. Messi or Ronaldo?
Messi.
Nice. Pineapple. Does pineapple belong on pizza?
I don't think so, but I'd eat it if it was in front of me.
All right. Well, that's any last. Do you have a favorite Rush memory that sticks out for you?
One memory that sticks out to me, I think it was my first year, and I think I had just gotten on the team. And our coach said that if we just like chip the ball into this trash can, then we wouldn't have to run. And like everybody got one chance to do it, and there weren't that many people at practice that day. And like I went last, and it was like one of my first practices there, and I chipped it and I got it in the trash can.
Nice.
Just like jumping up and down.
Those are the moments when you mentioned earlier about why you play and it's fun. Those are the moments
Exactly.
that you remember. Like I chipped it into a trash can, and
Yeah.
and that's really cool. So
Exactly.
well, I'll let you get back to it. I appreciate you taking the time. I really do. Thanks for supporting Rush and being part of this. And I wish you the best of luck in the bubble and your daily walks you get. And
Of course. Thank you for having me.
yeah, no problem. Best of luck and stay safe. And we'll talk to you later.
Thank you. Thank you. You too.
Bye.